Hey everybody, Schultzy Boy here. I just kind of wanted to do a quick video on the temple. I just made a video a couple days ago about a good farming method with breach. Just a little update on that one. It is now like 55 splinters for a divine instead of 70. So if you saw that previous video, you can now make even more divines. And as you get stronger and get better gear, I would definitely suggest starting your temple. This is my current setup right now. It is actually super easy. I have a different layout than like Milky Bee or whoever the fuck makes a temple, and I'll show you my layout right now. This is what I currently have set up. So I'll have 69 rooms in total. The DR means diminishing returns, so it just means that like as you get more and more of something, the multiplier lessens over time. So instead of like 3,000% monsters, it would only be like 1,000%, which is what it's showing right here. But yeah, so by the time my whole temple is actually built, I should have like 900 rarity, shit ton of monsters, a lot of gold, whatever. I do also know that people have been, especially like in chat, they're mad that the temple layout requires so much research and stuff. But I did want to say that, I mean, if you've looked at the PoE2 passive tree, that requires some lookup too. I mean, most people follow builds. Most people follow gear as well, like for certain builds. So it's very similar. This is just a very similar mechanic in terms of, yeah, you just have to look it up and figure it out. But I guarantee you, once you actually figure it out, it's not as hard as you think. It actually becomes kind of fun. I don't have a pilfering ring, so I can't show you exactly how much I've dropped or whatever. But what I can show you is that, you know, I'm currently following my layout with my temple. This is my first chain, you know, going around. I'll just use my mouse. It's my first chain going around right here. And then it loops around right here, and I'm gonna start building a little bit more spy masters. My architect is in a really shitty position, but you know, if he was not in a shitty position, I'd probably have like 72 rooms instead of 69, but you know, 69. So, but what I can show you is how much I've dropped. I did one run today. Actually, I just got done with it on stream, and I just was like, I need to make a video about how to actually do temple. So this is the loot minus the waystones that I dropped doing one temple run. So 20 chaos, 2 chance, 7 divs, raw, decent rune, you know, a few twilight reliquary keys, greater results, greater chaos, and yeah, it's not a bad thing to do. I also am level 98. I'm currently getting 17 million XP per hour right now, probably more because I have to do maps to start the temple anyway. But I'm 81% to level 99, and I turned level 98 like 4 days ago, so that's crazy. And also, I wanted to preface this by saying I have a full-time job. I'm an accountant, you know, my hours are pretty long. I don't have time to play 12 hours a day. I just happened to be off today and yesterday, so I just had more time to play. I don't have kids either. I'm not married, you know, things like that. But I do have a job. I can't play as much as the streamers can. You know, I can only stream for a couple hours here and there myself. So, but yeah, to build your temple, you're gonna get a random set of rooms on the left, and when you have a build in a planner, and I can actually put my link in the planner. I copied it to my clipboard, so I will put it in the YouTube description. What you'll do is you want to start with your left chain. So you're going to want to go all the way around. Try and have your architect be here, here, or same thing on the other side. You don't want it in this corner because you won't be able to make rooms up here. You won't be able to loop around the way that you think because the chain will kind of get fucked up that way. So you'll have to beat the architect at least once to start. You don't have to beat the architect to get your maximum medallion count, and I'll go over what medallions are in a second, but you don't have to beat him to get your medallion count. If you got really lucky and your architect just spawned right here, then that's perfect, and you can just follow my chain pretty much to a T. You can even tweak it yourself a little bit. I recommend this website because it tells you exactly what goes with what, what's upgraded by what, and you can also even simulate upgrading everything that can be upgraded, so anything that's eligible. Another nice thing about the temple is that it's based on your character level and not the area level. So if you're a lower level, like even in campaign, you can start setting this up in campaign. But I would suggest running your temple in campaign. You get a little bit more XP, it's free XP, and then you also get a chance for currency. And also, as you keep going through the campaign, getting it ready, by the time you reach endgame, I personally can't say how many rooms you'll have because I didn't do it in campaign. I actually started my temple like 5 days ago. But it is a really good mechanic to follow if you want currency. It's a really good league for currency right now. I mean, me dropping 7 divines per run and it takes me 10 minutes to do, that's literally almost a divine per minute that I'm making right now. And I was able to kind of like stop doing all my breach stuff. And this is my current currency. 2 days ago, I had 300 and whatever was in my last video. Now I have 725. I also want to show you that the temple drops really good gear as well. I dropped a headhunter, and then I dropped a few bases that were worth a lot, and then I also dropped
Hail.
I gotta show you this right now. I flash sailed everything, so that 100 divine shrouded vest, it just dropped in the temple. I got really lucky with the corruption, and it was worth 100 divs. The headhunter I sold for 60, and then the crown of eyes vermal circuit was 150 divines. So that was really cool. I mean, that's over 300 divines that I just made with gear alone that dropped in the temple. I know on console it can be really hard. On PC, you can just kind of get a sidekick and look up the prices of things yourself. And I will actually make a video on how to go over all that stuff for PC and like how to like find your gear and whatever. But being a somewhat juicy temple that I have right now, when you start building your temple, you'll want to start building Spy Masters. If you look, Spy Master, it says tier 3. You'll want to build those as much as you can, especially around the first whole loop. I fucked up and put a fucking alchemy lab here, but I was already like way over here before I realized what I did, and I don't want to redo my whole fucking temple. It's not bricked, it's just there. I would have had an extra Spy Master over here somewhere, but anyway, Spy Masters drop a certain medallion that locks your chain. It prevents the destabilization. So whenever you run a temple and then you finish the temple, I think you've noticed that your rooms disappear. This lock prevents your chain from disappearing, and as long as your chain is only one specific chain, so if you look all the way down, my rooms don't connect, only adjacently. They only connect to each other, but they don't connect to more than one room at a time. If you lock the end of your chain, it will keep every single room in your chain from destabilizing. Which means that you could have a giant chain like this, just lock one room at the very end, and then you keep your entire chain. You would only lose the rooms that you place that aren't connected to your chain, basically. So that's a very simple way to explain it. You will also drop other medallions that give you room. So I have a Spy Master that I'm saving because sometimes Spy Masters don't roll. When I built my first Spy Master, my second one didn't drop until I did I shit you not, 25 fucking temple runs before I finally got the RNG required to get a gallery, Legion, and then Spy Master. It was so annoying. But once I actually got my second one and I was dropping pretty much a lock every other run, and I was just placing my bullshit rooms that I didn't want in the middle, I was able to finally keep locking my chain, keep building, and then it got easier and easier and easier. Yeah, it's really only annoying to start your chain because you have to put a whole bunch of shit in the middle that you don't want, and it's just not fun when you first start. But once you actually get your first loop going right here, it gets a lot easier. And then obviously once you get your third, fourth, fifth, and sixth Spy Master, you're basically dropping the lock every run, and then like me, you have a surplus of locks, so I'm able to lock the end of my chain and then my dynamo to upgrade my golem. So I definitely recommend just looking at mine. You don't even have to follow it exactly. You can just kind of clear it out and do an edit mode, and make your own temple in here, instead of having to find this website yourself. But it will definitely help you out. It shows you all the stats. It's current with the updates that have come out, all the hot fixes. I swear they're on a record for hot fixes, but yeah, it's a really good method for farming currency. You don't have to try super hard to get it done, and as you make more currency, you'll get stronger and you'll have an easier time. The XP is crazy, the loot is crazy, and I hope you guys have a good one. You know, make sure you have plenty of divines drop for you. All right, peace out, guys.